The advantages of selling your house without a realtor are many, but still might need a little bit of help. I'm here. Hey everybody, I'm Dave Taylor with Edina Realty, and today on House Hike, we're actually going to talk about how to sell your home without a realtor. I'm going to share with you a handful of tips and tricks that I use all the time to sell homes. Now, why would a realtor actually be talking to you about selling your home without a realtor? Well, at the end of the day, even in my best year possible, I could probably only sell a few dozen homes in a single year. Well, there are hundreds of homes being sold in La Crosse every year. And so I can't help everybody. But if I can show you a few tips and tricks to help you sell your house, well, then I've done something good, and that's what matters to me. So we're going to dive into this starting from the very beginning and going all the way to the end. So stay tuned. Step number 1 to sell your house without a realtor is actually to decide to sell your house. One of the biggest difficulties that for sale by owners have is really just finally pulling that trigger and deciding to sell their home. When you're looking to sell your home, it's not the time to be wishy-washy and do things just half sorta and put your toe in the water. It's a little cold. I don't want to. No. When you're ready to sell your house and you're really ready to sell your house, then decide and start working through the plan. Which leads us into step number 2. When you've decided to sell your house, now we've got to determine your timeline and your price. Okay, determine your timeline and your price. The reason that those two go hand in hand is because if you've got more time, well, then you have the ability to kind of price it a little bit higher and wait the market out. If you have less time, well, then you've got to hurry up and get it sold right away, so you've got to price it right to be sold right away. Now, when I'm talking about your timeline, I always like to start at the end and work our way forward. When do you want to close and be out of your house, right? If you're trying to do it before the school year, let's say September 1st, and you know that the average home takes 45 to 60 days, well, looking back in time, that means that you need to actually have had an offer in hand by July 15th or July 30th at the latest. If we then look at how long homes actually sell in the market and we recognize that for sale by owners are a little bit slower, well, then you need at least a full month before then. So to sell your house by September 1st, you need to get an offer in hand by July 15th and then turn around and be on the market for at least an entire month before then. Then we're looking at June 15th. We're already past that point. And so if we wanted to sell it as fast as we can, we've got to price it that right way. Step number 3 is to make sure that we prep the house. Now, I just did a video on renovating your house and what you don't need to spend your money on and what you should spend your money on. But as a for sale by owner, there's also a few other things that you've got to consider. Curb appeal. How does your house look during the season that you're in? If it's fall and we've got all these beautiful orange and red flowers, well, then let's make sure that we showcase that. If it's summer, people want to see clean grass and clean landscaping with no clutter on the outside. As a for sale by owner, you got to get those taken care of as well, okay? And then on the inside of your house, you got to make sure that you declutter. When I'm walking through someone's home that's interested in selling their house, I will typically walk through and have a checklist of things that I'm recommending. Hey, we're going to paint this wall here. We should change these light bulbs out. Oh, look, this outlet is all scuffed up. Let's just pay 98 cents and get that replaced. Hey, this flooring looks like it needs a little bit of love. Let's take a look at that. As a for sale by owner, you're the only one who's going to get a chance to look at it. So you want to make sure that you are critical of those things. Imagine walking to your house for the very first time as somebody who's never seen it and they're not aware of all the goods and bads of it. You've got to showcase it right the first time. Our next tip here is to make sure that you get great photos and great videos. Most buyers will actually look at a home on their phone on the internet before they ever go see it. Well, that means that you've got to showcase it with beautiful photos. Don't just pull out an old crappy cell phone and take a picture of it. Actually go and hire a real photographer. Now, if you're in the La Crosse area, I'm going to put a link down below of somebody that is absolutely fantastic. Definitely check them out. If you're looking for a drone photographer, I can help you out with that as well. So give me a call. I'll put my information down there in the description. All right, tip number 5 is market it correctly. Now, when you are going to put it online, and you shouldn't just put a sign in front of your house. You need to actually put it online so that you can get the most buyers, which increases your opportunity for being able to have a bidding war, which is ultimately what we're going for, right? When you market it online, you want to think of the 3 main areas that people are shopping online. The MLS. Now, the MLS is typically reserved for realtors, but a lot of realtors are willing to put something on the MLS for a small fee, typically $500. That then gets it out to all of the other major websites that you're aware of, like Zillow and Realtor and you name it, right? So putting it on the MLS gives it access to all of those other individuals. And then there is also the opportunity of just going directly to Zillow or Realtor or something along those lines. You should take a look at those. Posting it on those websites, again, increases your opportunity for buyers. And then I really strongly recommend using Facebook, Facebook's Marketplace, and Facebook's boosted ads. When you go on there, you can actually pay a bit of marketing to have it directly feeded to individuals that are living or looking in your area. When I do Facebook ads, I typically am in the few hundreds of dollars, depending on the size of the house. But even if you just did $100 of boosted ads, it's going to get out to thousands of buyers, which again gives you the best opportunity to sell your home quickly. One of the reasons why individuals do a for sale by owner is to save on the commission cost. I totally get it. But one of the things that you should still consider is when you're marketing your home, make sure to include a percentage for the buyer's agent, right? Typically about 3%. Why do you do this? Well, because every other house, statistically, 98% of homes are being sold with at least a realtor included in it, is including that buyer's agent commission. And so when you choose not to offer a buyer's agent commission, well, then you're right away limiting your pool. All those agents that have buyers, they're not going to come work with you, right? And you want them to come work with you. So the easiest way to do that is right in your description, right? Whether it's on Zillow or Facebook or anything like that, 3% buyer's agent commission. Bam, just put it as the very last bullet there and you're good to go. That immediately allows all those agents in the area, which in the La Crosse area is hundreds of us, to immediately come out and check out your house. Moving on. The next tip that I'm going to have is once it's actually out on the market, you've got it marketing, you've got beautiful photos, well, now we've got to look at scheduling. One of the biggest difficulties that for sale by owners have is, well, you've got to manage all of that. Well, I've got a secret weapon for you, okay? Now, you don't have access to showing time, which most realtors would have access to, but you do have access to Calendly. Calendly is a fantastic tool. It's free if you so choose to have it. And what you do is you set up your block of time that you want to allow for showings, and people can literally click on the link, pick a time, schedule it themselves, and you can coordinate via messaging right through there. Text message, email, the system right in Calendly. Now, I'll do another video on just how to use Calendly and get it set up, but I absolutely love it. I used to use it when I was a recruiting manager, and it helps a ton. Takes a lot of the stress out of it for you because once somebody blocks a time, well, no one else can take that time. So you don't have to worry about that weird overlap. And you can also even set a little bit of a buffer time saying, hey, you know what? No more than 15 minutes in between these two individuals. Okay, cool. You can set that up super, super easy. Again, I'll create another video on how to do exactly that. Our next step is actually now getting the offers and reviewing the offers. When you review the offer, you want to make sure that you are thorough. See what you're paying for and what they're paying for. Now, the key areas to the Wisconsin offer to purchase are obviously going to be the purchase price, the earnest money, the different contingencies, which includes the inspection contingency, the financing contingency, the appraisal contingency, radon if you've got well and septic, as well as then, hey, are they asking for a warranty or any other seller contributions, right? Money that you are paying at closing. Those are the big areas. Of course, we can't forget about the closing date, because if you want to close on time, you got to take a look at that closing date as well. Once you've reviewed each of those and compared one offer to another offer, hopefully, then you can actually see and do what's called a seller net sheet, okay? Just because one offer has more money in it doesn't actually mean that it saves you or makes you the most amount of money. Ultimately, it matters what kind of money actually goes in your pocket. And so what you got to do is actually look at them side by side and do a spreadsheet of what's actually going to cost you what. This offer might actually pay you $2,000 more, but then you're expected to do the radon testing and the well and the septic and the building inspector and this and that and a ton of different extra stuff. Versus this offer might actually be a few $1,000s less, but there's no inspections. You don't have to worry about any inspections. They're going to just pay for everything and get it on done with, right? Got to take a look at those side by side. The next step, after you've already accepted an offer, is now you've got to work through the process. What I always do for all of my sellers and my buyers is I immediately build a calendar timeline, okay? Hey, this is when this is due, this is when this is due, right? Earnest money, inspection, financing contingency, the appraisal. These are the important dates. Have those noted so that you're not going, wait a second, was this supposed to happen last week? No, it's this week. Oh man, and now you're all confused and flustered and everything's going sideways, right? Build yourself that timeline so that you know, okay, hey, you know what? I haven't heard about the inspection. It's been 13 days. The inspection contingency pops up in 15 days. I wonder when they're going to have an inspector, right? You can walk through and you can drive that process to stay in control. Once you've gotten that timeline all the way done, now it's time for the exciting part, which is the closing. Don't forget, you can actually set up your closing company. Now, I've got 2 great closing companies in the La Crosse area. I'll link them below. But make sure that you work with a professional to have your title insurance done and all of the closing steps so that everything goes smooth. I really love using these 2 different closing companies because they make it easy, right? They make the entire process just a little bit easier so that everything seems to just fall into place. All right, that's the steps to walking through how to sell your home without a realtor. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. Again, I can't help list every house, but I do want to help. Give me a call and let's talk through that. I'm just going to walk away so you can see this.